dirt patchwork. And let's see what this puzzle has up its sleeve. 160. You found a nice round patch of dirt that you'd like to divide up into as many different garden plots as possible. You have 5 ropes to work with. Each one must be stretched in a straight line across the circle, but the ropes can cross each other as often as you like. Using only these 5 ropes, what is the maximum number of sections you can divide the patch of dirt into? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14? Is that as many as I can get? Let's go 14, you know? Hang on, that was one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
How about this?
Nope.
I guess it's back to the drawing board.
Too bad. The sections can all be different sizes. The important thing is to divide the patch into dirt into the maximum number of spaces. Five ropes would simply create 6 sections if you weren't allowed to cross them, but you're allowed to cross the rope, so you can create a lot more spaces. If you stretch a rope across the patch of dirt from top to bottom and across from left to right, across in the middle, and divide the patch into 4 different sections, and that's just using 2 of your 5 ropes. Yes. Are we just talking about pizza slices here? Like, either 14 or 15, and we did 14, so it's 15.
This one's as good as solved.
It is not. It is not 15.
Let me think this through again.
With your 5 ropes, you can divide the path of that. With your 5 ropes, you can divide the path of dirt into more than 10 different sections. Yes. This could be one of those things where it's like, it's 20. And I'll be like, what? Or they're like, it's more than 14. I'll be like, ah. Use the memo function to draw a star in the middle of the circle using 5 straight lines. Make sure the points of the star are within the circle and the lines creating each point cross and extend out into the grass so they can create 1 more space within the circle. Now count each section. Well, how many are there? It's like, hey, buddy, here you go. Just make a star. Just... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mine's better. Mine's better. What are you talking about? That's lame.
How about this?
What do you mean?
I guess it's back to the drawing board.
What are you even talking about? They're talking about... Hang on. I did this wrong. They want these little spaces at the top and the bottom. I assume that's what they're talking about. But I did it wrong. I went too far. I was like, 11? Even my idiot face is like, get 14. What? Okay. 11. Brain. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
How about this?
Ah, Jiminy.
I knew it!
You can divide the patch of dirt into as many as 16 different sections. The first rope divides the circle into 2 sections. The second rope divides it into 4. The third rope crosses the first 2 and divides the patch into 7 sections. Once you've used all 5 ropes like this, you'll end up with 16 sections. A simple example is a star in the center as shown in the image above. Excellent work there. It's terrible. Black hat. Let's see what this puzzle has in store for you. 161. Black hat, white hat. I was like reading the picarettes and I was like, that's not the title of this. The black top hat below is made from 6 blocks. Using the same pieces, make a white top hat in the same spot. The pieces can be moved and rotated with your stylus, but you can't flip them over. What do you mean? I've made a white top hat. Want me to like outline it? Is that what you're asking? Okay, this has got to be what they're asking. Because, like, you know?
This one's as good as solved.
Like, what are you talking about?
I knew it!
Oh, smooth. What a beautiful white top hat. Now, that was truly impressive. Cluttered cans, too. Alright. I wonder what this puzzle has in store for us. Lots of dragging and dropping and failing. 4 canned food products are randomly stacked up. You need to rearrange them into stacks, of the same product. However, if you want to move a can that has cans on top, you have to move them all at once. You can't have more than 6 cans stacked up at a time. Sounds easy, right? Oh, one more thing. You have to do it in 14 moves or fewer. Is that spam? Mm. With one move to
How
spare.
about this?
With one move to spare.
Phew, that's a relief.
Clean. How many moves did it take? Oh, it's expertly solved. Thank you. Bunch of dragging and dropping. The Time Traveler's House. Time times 3. Oh no. Let's see how you fare against this puzzle. 163. Time times 3. Create a valid equation by placing a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into each box A, B, C, D, E, F, G. In this puzzle, the 2 digits to the left of each colon are minutes, and the 2 digits to the right are seconds. 60 seconds will roll over into a minute, and you can't exceed 60 minutes. Let's just take a hint right off the bat. Right off the bat. For starters, what do you know for sure? Well, you know that the answer time ends in 7, and the top number is multiplied by 3. So the number that goes in box D must end in 7 when multiplied by 3. There's only one that will work. It's an odd number. Nine times 3 ends in 7, so the 9 goes in box D. 2 times 3 is 6, so what does that tell you about what number goes in box A?
How about this? I don't know what to say.
Alright, we already know. We already know. The number in box A is greater than 1, the lower value will exceed 60 minutes, which isn't allowed. Therefore, the 1 must go in box A. See, that's what I was doing originally, but then you're like, oh, the 6. If you think carefully about the rest, you should figure it out. Here's another hint, though. The 5 goes in box E. Okay, already there. Let's just get it out of the way, because I'm like, brute force and everything. The 1, 4, 8, and 9 all go in the top time. The rest can be calculated from there.
This one's as good as solved.
Wrong.
I guess it's back to the drawing board.
No, I didn't mean to leave. No, my letters, my numbers, not my letters, whatever. Oh, bother.
How about this? No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Yeah, I was like, either we're gonna have to look it up, or we just use the hints. Correct, the equation is 18 minutes and 49 seconds times 3 equals 56 minutes and 27 seconds. That wasn't too hard, was it? I'm dying over here. 9 is the only single-digit number that will produce a 7 when multiplied by 3, so it's the only possible choice for box D. Also, if the number in box A was any larger than 1, the answer would exceed 60 minutes, which isn't allowed in this puzzle. The rest can be calculated step by step. Day by day. That was some very nice work you did there. Don't. Just shh. Hey, I'm confident you'll make short work of this puzzle. 164, Calendar Conundrum. Somebody tore this calendar page in half. Rude. Anyway, the puzzle must go on. When added together, the 4 circled days equal 20. The smallest of the 4 numbers is 1. Assuming you had the entire calendar page to work with, and you circled a square of 4 numbers that added up to 88, what would the smallest number of those 4 numbers be? Okay, so it would be the 18th. Because it's 18, 19, 25, and 26 would be 18.
This one's as good as solved.
Thank you, calendar that's right next to me.
No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
I was like, well, they tore the calendar in half for a reason. Because they knew I needed visuals. They were like, she can't count. She don't know what she's talking about. Ding ding, it's 18. If you look closely at a calendar, you'll see some numerical patterns. Numbers to the left or right of each other differ by 1. Numbers above or below one another differ by 7. In a block of 4 numbers, the bottom row total and top row total will have a difference of 14 between them. So, if the sum of 4 numbers in a square is 88, the upper two must equal 44, 7, or 37. And those two must differ by 1, so they're 19 and the answer 18. Yep. Sure. Color me impressed. That was expertly executed. Does it count as looking it up because I looked up at a calendar? Let's see how this puzzle treats you. 165, one big necklace. You have 3 identical bracelets that you'd like to make into one big necklace. Rearrange the tiles below into a shape that connects all 4 of the bracelet pieces in one continuous loop. Okay. Alright, buddy. I see it. I'm seeing it. I was like, well, obviously the little plain blocks have to go in the corners then, right? The answer, my friend, is yes. Yes, they do.
This one's as good as solved.
We did it!
No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Ignore that the cat food alarm happened at the time. Skillful. Hopefully it's not too long to wear. Now that is how you solve a puzzle. Excellent work. The Puzzle Keeper's House. Perplexing Produce. Number 166. Let's see how you fare against this puzzle. 166. 80 picarets. Oh boy. The center panel cannot be moved. Line up the 4 types of fruit below by rotating and rearranging the panels with your stylus. Okay. Easy enough. This puzzle sure looks fun, but it's really hard. It's even hard to give hints for. For starters, don't stress out if you can't figure it out at first. Just keep at it. The panels all look so similar that it's hard to figure out where to start. First, just try temporarily placing panels that match up around the center. By the way, the correct panel that goes above the center panel doesn't have a banana on it. Okay, that's it. That's all I need. The correct panel that goes above the center panel doesn't have a banana on it. That's it. That's all we needed. Hi, cat. That it? Looks like it.
Here's my answer. Phew, that's a relief.
Whew. Fruitabulous. Did it take you very long? Not so much I went crazy, no. Perplexing produce. I must say I'm very impressed with your work here. There, here, wherever. Let's see how you fare against this puzzle. It's another sliding puzzle. It's gonna be hard. Oh, they're so pretty though. You may have figured it out twice before, but this time you'll never solve the impassable gate. I probably won't. I believe you on that one.
This one's as good as solved.
My goodness.
I knew it!
I wonder how long I was able to do that. That was crazy. Unbelievable. You can now pass through the gate whenever you want. Wonderful, wonderful job on that puzzle. The time machine. Let's see how you fare against this puzzle. This is the time machine's ignition mechanism. In order to prevent accidents, however, a complicated security procedure has been incorporated into the device. To start the time machine, assemble the blocks into a square with the red orb at its very center and in the same exact position as it is below. Think about how the pieces will fit together to make a square before you start moving them around. You won't get very far if you don't plan ahead. I can't move. Use the memo function to figure out the correct placement for each block. There are 4 small L-shaped blocks. 3 of them form corners of the square. The T-shaped block goes on the right side of the square, slotted into 2 small L-shaped blocks. The Z-shaped block goes near the center with the red orb right underneath it. The small L-shaped block in the bottom left goes 1 square above its starting position. The large L-shaped block goes directly below it, forming the bottom left corner of the square. This is not helpful. I can't move. I need to be able to move. That is the main problem here. Alright, we're looking this one up. Top. They make it look so easy. Oh, oops, sorry. There. Oh, I was like, what moved?
How about this? I knew it!
That's right, I guessed the last 5. You know, I'm very smart like that. Stellar, the time machine is ready to go. Oh, you've solved every puzzle in the story mode of this game. Congratulations. I bet you used a ton of hidden coins and the internet. And yep, I definitely did. For more fun things to do, check out Top Secret and Weekly Puzzle in the bonuses section. Please enjoy the rest of the game, and once again, great work. You cheater. Cheat. They automatically save my game. Top Secret. Wow. 5,600. Hidden door. A ticket to time travel. Enter the password, which you can find in the prequel to this game. For more information, please refer to the instruction booklet. Nope, you don't get to know, because I don't have the code from the last game. I haven't been writing them down. I'm sorry. Robots. Layton. Though his main passions are solving puzzles and enjoying a nice cup of tea, Herschel Layton is also a highly regarded archaeology professor. His most prized possession is the top hat that was given to him by his sweetheart Claire. The professor's self-proclaimed apprentice, Luke is a very bright boy with puzzle-solving skills that rival most adults. His appetite is legendary, and his ability to communicate with animals has been key in more than one investigation. Layton's protege and devoted follower, Flora refuses to be left behind on the professor and Luke's expeditions. She's even trying her hand at puzzle solving this time around. A brilliant scientist who believes himself to be Layton's arch-nemesis, Don Palo's appearance changed forever when he found out that the girl he loved, Claire, was seeing Herschel Layton. His skill as an inventor is matched only by his mastery of disguise. The mere mention of Inspector Chelmy has the London underworld quaking in their boots. His strong sense of justice means he will do whatever it takes to put criminals behind bars, but at home with his wife, he is the model, loving husband. A placid bon vivant. bon vivant? A placid bon vivant. Please define that. Thank you. Constable Barton is the perfect foil for Inspector Chelmy. His love of the chase is dampened only by his reoccurring hunger pains, which he satisfies by frequent visits to local eateries. An older version of Luke from 10 years in the future who requests Layton's help in eradicating the evil rampant in his London. Though more grown up than Luke, he retains a genuine love of puzzles. He is later revealed to be Clive in disguise. A young woman who claims to be Claire's sister, Celeste has taken it upon herself to solve the mystery of her sister's death. Scouring the future London in search of clues, it is finally revealed that she is in fact Claire herself. A researcher in the field of time travel, Dimitri loved Claire so much that, to try to save her from her fate, he abducted scientists to build a time machine. His genius is undisputed, but blinded by a desire for revenge, he became a pawn in Clive's plans. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Bill once worked with Dimitri on the development of a time machine. However, Bill betrayed his friend, which helped him reach his current position. Even after being kidnapped by Dimitri, he remains unremorseful. When she's not working in the clock shop, Spring is a shameless celebrity follower who knows all about everyone who's anyone. She's an expert at embroidery, though the dim clock shop is hardly the best setting for needlework. The owner of the clock shop, Cog, used to work for the Dove family. Cog played his part so well that he developed a genuine love for the art of clockmaking. All the clocks in the shop, except the giant one, are his handiwork. This time around, Dr. Schrader was actually Don Paolo in disguise. The likeness was perfect, but the mask slipped a little when Dr. Schrader wasn't surprised to seeing young Luke in the future. Another uncanny disguise by Don Paolo. He gave himself white hair to indicate that Dalmona had aged 10 years, but this subtle touch proved to be his undoing. Shipley is the postman who delivered the letter from the future to Layton. He was once quite slender, but his love of fine cuisine at the restaurant has left him somewhat the plumper. He started out as a gardener at the Dove household. Puzzle savant Granny Riddleton used to store puzzles that Luke and Layton missed on their adventures, but she has passed on these duties to her granddaughter Puzzlette and had gone on vacation. The elusive lady now pops up in the most unexpected places. Yeah, the strange Granny Riddleton and Puzzlette and Beasley arc was not, not a character arc I thought we were going to tackle in this game, but they made a bold choice and they let it happen. Puzzlette is Granny Riddleton's granddaughter and her successor as the guardian of Miss Puzzles. Though she's a bit spacey, she also has a certain innocent ruthlessness. It seems like there's more to her than meets the eye. A bee with a taste for puzzles and chit-chat. Beasley was the guardian of lost puzzles until Puzzlette assumed the role. No one knows exactly how he got the job in the first place, though. Why does he have human arms? Beasley, what are you? This clever parrot has a knack for learning words and using them just at the right time. From his humble beginnings in Dimitri's test labs, he became adept not only at memorizing words, but also at imitating voices. Oh, he's an experiment. A rabbit with an attitude. Subject 3 developed a profound mistrust of humans after being subjected to experiments by Dimitri's science team. Once an ordinary wild rabbit, he has acquired the ability to walk on 2 legs. As Dimitri's henchman, Bostro has never doubted that his boss is the true head of the family and is loyal to a fault. This blind devotion has made him a useful tool for Clive, but he remains blissfully ignorant. These ubiquitous thugs like to hang around street corners. Though they all look the same to outsiders, each one apparently has a distinct personality. Their manners are atrocious, but they have shown a certain fondness for puzzles. Posing as Bostro's underling, Lockjaw actually answers only to Clive. However, his unfortunate habit of letting important information slip makes him something of a liability for his boss. Splinters is a brutish, bloodthirsty man who works for Bostro. Surprisingly, his hobby is collecting old clocks, and he often makes secret visits to the clock shop. Though still only a man of 28, he's already concerned by his receding hairline. Marzano is a mid-ranking gang member who is wrapped up in his own little world, convinced that he has psychic powers and the ability to predict the future. Though he frequently laments his tragic life, he doesn't actually consider it all that bad. Layman is a gangster with romantic ideals. What he lacks in height, he makes up for in dexterity. He works for Bostro, but being literally below his boss's notice, he's been assigned to the undesirable backstreet post. Fisheye is a gangster who answers directly to Clive. He is a heartless and cold-blooded man who is scrupulously obedient to his boss. He boasts considerable skill with knives, not least when it comes to juggling them. Silky is a gangster known for his unique laugh and unusual hairiness. He hates violence and would never harm civilians, but his bushy hair alone causes many to fear him. Oh, you gotta be careful of those hairy people. He takes pride in his beard and is never without his trimmer. Shalmi is a rough gangster who works for Bostro, though somewhat stronger than his brother Schmarten. He frequently incurs his boss's wrath and can often be heard grumbling about him. Schmarten is an underling. Just Schmarten. Is an underling of Bostro's who looks remarkably like Constable Barton and eats like him too. He hangs around with his brother Shelmy and is useless without him. He's a regular customer at Pepper's Noodle Palace. Let's give it up for Ward. I don't know if you can hear me clapping. Ward's great. Ward is a gangster in charge of guarding the entrance to the casino and the pagoda. It is unclear whether his posing is conscious or not. His lax attitude to guard duty makes him an unwitting favorite among the scientists. It's true. Ward, you are the best. Thank you very much. I do what I can. Thank you. Smith was once a guard at the exhibition site, but lost his job after an incident with an intruder. Despite having caught the offender, he now works at Gressenheller University, keeping an eye on student hijinks. Florence is an eccentric elderly lady who teaches you all about hint coins. Though she's married, she's taken a shining to Professor Layton since she met him. Her unique hairdo is the fruit of several hours' work every day. Vito is a little man who hangs around Midland Road. He has become famous in the area for giving visitors unhelpful directions. His latest preoccupation has been keeping his too large trousers from falling down. Art is an architect who's working single-handedly to reclaim the future Midland Road. Thanks to his efforts, the street has become sunnier and more pleasant place to be. He's a real pro who'll turn his hand to anything. Nicholas is a loutish fellow who inhabits Midland Road. He hates responsibility and avoids trouble at all costs, but he somehow always manages to end up the worse for it. He has a lot of respect for Art, who is cleaning up Midland Road. Anita is the owner of the cafe on Midland Road. She manages the cafe on her own, though she rarely has any customers apart from her regular Alfie. Even so, her delectable ham sandwiches are famous throughout town. Alfie is a regular customer at Anita's cafe. It is even rumored that his visits account for half of her total sales. He loves talking to young people, but his enthusiasm is rarely reciprocated. Hazel is a faint-hearted youth who gets scared and runs away at the slightest provocation. He spends his day dreaming of romance with a sweet girl like Becky. He is Rudolph and Myrtle's grandson. Adeline is a domineering woman with the pride of a queen. A native of Cardiff, she came to London a few years ago. She drinks a revolting brew to preserve her beauty, though the results are arguably not worth the sacrifice. Ouch. Max is a strange boy whose conversation consists mainly of game show sound effects. His usual hangout near the door to the restaurant allows him to overhear lots of useful nuggets of information. He hates it when Becky patronizes him. Becky is the lively maid at the Hotel Duke, when her grandmother is listening. Her manner is quite formal, but she's really a friendly and spirited girl. She likes to think of Max as her protege. Margaret is the manager of the Hotel Duke on Southern Street. Though she often dozes at the front desk when the hotel is quiet, her commitment to customer service is unwavering. She is married to Seagal, but he is rarely around. Oh. Paylard is the owner of one of the restaurants in town. He gained renown as a chef working in a first-class hotel. His wife works as a researcher at the labs. He's finding it hard to talk to his son Max of late, which is causing him concern. Dupree is the bearded man who spends his time reading the newspaper. He has a great love of justice and despises all that is evil, but his tendency to believe everything he reads in the newspaper without question has made him the family's puppet. Natalia is a nurse who works in reception at Green Hospital. She doesn't have many patients and usually seems rather bored. Her pale complexion makes her look ill, and it's said that her patients worry more about her than she does about them. Harold is the casino's bouncer, whose unexpectedly liberal door policy was in evidence when he let Layton's group in. Despite working in a casino, he is appallingly bad at card games. Is his hair, or is it a hat? You know? Is it a hair, or is it his hat? Hat or hair? Team hat? Team hair? Who are you? Horace is a scientist who was abducted and taken to future London. He realized that the future Layton was in fact Dimitri, but held his tongue following threats from the family. He has a girlfriend down in Chinatown. Hardy is a workman drafted in to help with the construction of future London. Though lazy, he's very attached to the wife and son he left behind. He has no idea he's in the future. One of the abducted scientists taken to future London, Cuthbert worries about his family and often sneaks out to see them. He is endowed with a brilliant mind for science and invention, but sadly has no sense of humor at all. Seagal is a suspicious character who lurks in the black market bazaar. He has watched future London evolve and grow and is likely aware of many of its secrets. Though he isn't a bad person, he somehow projects a suspicious aura. Not even the awful dog can discourage the devoted Catanova from visiting his lady friend. He's a cat of few mews, though his sleek looks certainly make him popular with the ladies. Clicking. Rosetta is a student of Professor Layton's who is rather enamored with her teacher. She is very passionate and even goes out to dig sites on her days off. Her unusual forwardness causes confusion to many, including Layton himself. Colby is the constable who works at reception in Scotland Yard and is a great fan of Layton's. He does his best at his job, but is a little tired of being stuck at the station. His chin gets even longer when he laughs. No one knows what's going down in Chinatown better than Rudolph. Lately, he's been fanatical about the food at Pepper's Noodle Palace, much to the dismay of his wife Myrtle, who always packs his lunch. His grandson is Hazel. Misha is a thoughtful and poetic woman with a philosophical outlook on life. She spends a lot of time reflecting on the nature of life and love and improving her mind. Her origin and family ties are a mystery. Dylan lives in Chinatown and has a sometimes brusque manner. Is it brisk or brusque? I don't know. I think it's brisk. Manner that conceals a kind heart. He is nutty about toy cars and is a regular customer at Checker's toy shop, though his visits are getting more secretive as he gets older. Viv is a well-mannered little girl who lives in Chinatown with her parents. Her father works as a researcher specializing in mechanical engineering. Her mother's influence has given her a strict attitude, but she is a gentle girl at heart. Pepper is the owner of Pepper's Noodle Palace in Chinatown, which is thriving thanks to her careful and shrewd management. It is said that her noodle bar attracts the unhappy inhabitants of future London. Her specialty is spicy noodle soup. Checker is a toy maker who works in the toy shop in Chinatown. He's the creator of his own brand of toy cars, and his shop is always inundated with customers in search of his collectibles. Avogadro is a scientist who works in Dimitri's labs. He is patient and quick-tempered. He is impatient and quick-tempered, that makes more sense, but is the most knowledgeable of all the scientists. He is very sensitive about his height. Maya runs the bookstore in Chinatown, which is the ideal job for someone who loves reading as much as she does. She's happy when she can persuade people to read it all, and sometimes even directs her customers to the library. Myrtle runs the little pet shop in Chinatown. She and her husband Rudolph were like lovebirds for years. But relations have cooled a little recently. Myrtle is normally a gentle animal lover, but she's quite fierce when she's angry. Nope, you missed Belle. Belle is a young lady who has developed a big crush on little Luke. Her burning passion is a bit too much for Luke to handle, and he is terrified of her. Belle, however, has never been one to let such obstacles get in the way of true love. Graham is, in his own eyes, the city's most stylish gentleman. He wears the most expensive clothes and has a confidence that impresses even the family gangsters. His dream is to start a clothing line with Belle. Ever since the wall of Slate's house was covered in graffiti, he's been working with local youngsters to repaint it as a mural. He isn't much good with a paintbrush himself, but his kindness makes him popular with the kids. Ernest is a timid old man who dislikes talking to strangers, and he spends most of his time hiding on a corner of Midland Road. He is friends with Cog and often goes round to the clock shop for a cup of tea. Berta is a cheerful, motherly type with a good laugh. She doesn't let trifles worry her and thoroughly enjoys her life in future London. She doesn't see much of her husband Avogadro, but still has food on the table whenever he comes home. Minnie is a laid-back girl with something of a sweet tooth. She takes something sugary with her wherever she goes. Her kind, conciliatory nature has made her many friends, and she takes great pleasure in feeding them her homemade cakes. Paige is a shy, soft-spoken girl who wears glasses. She is earnest and hardworking, but sometimes needs to lighten up a little. She is aware of her quiet voice and practices projecting at home. Her hobby is writing poetry. Riley is an assertive, childish boy. He is fascinated by beetles and keeps rhinoceros and stag beetles at home. He gets very sulky if things don't go his way, but luckily, these foul moods have a very short lifespan. A passionate lighthouse keeper, Beacon has nevertheless been made redundant by technology, but the upshot is that he now has the time to devote to his other passion, modern dance. He's been choreographing a tribute to lighthouses. Mark's bland exterior hides a deeply strange character. He's disturbed. He tends to pontificate on all sorts of topics, but most of what he says is rubbish. He's a frequent visitor at the casino, but he makes an easy target for more experienced gamblers. Why, it's our old friend Mr. Stash and Scarfin. Though it's a pleasure to see him again, it seems that both his origins and motivations are just as shrouded in mystery as ever. A man of contradictions, Pavel is a fearless adventurer with no sense of direction. He is always breaking his beloved compass, and he possesses a unique ability to get lost no matter how detailed the map he is using. Dr. Andrew Schrader is Professor Layton's and Don Pallow's old teacher. He is a highly respected archaeologist but has a tendency to get himself into trouble and often needs to be rescued by his students. His collection of antiques is legendary. Dean Dalmona is the head of Gressenheller University and is a kind man who is loved by all the students. He has a soft spot for his little granddaughter and spoils her rotten. His hair is actually a toupee, and as he is completely bald. Caroline is the wife of the Prime Minister, Bill Hawkes, a calculating woman who enjoys her celebrity lifestyle. She has quite a taste for expensive things, much to her husband's dismay. Posing as an older Luke, Clive is the instigator of the terrible attack upon London. For years, he cultivated a bitter resentment towards the scientists and politicians involved in his parents' premature deaths. He has expressed a desire for atonement. Claire is Layton's old sweetheart. Though she worked as Dimitri's assistant, she was an excellent scientist in her own right. She was also the woman who gave Layton his beloved hat. She lost her life in a failed time travel experiment. We've all been there. Dr. Stangun is the identity assumed by Dimitri while building the fake time machine. He was believed to have disappeared in the accident at the exhibition site, but he had in fact departed to future London along with the Prime Minister. Future Layton rules the dark city of future London with an iron fist. Corrupted by his study of time travel, he no longer has the moral compass required of a gentleman. He was revealed to be Dimitri in disguise. The barkeep at the Thames Arms is a role Dimitri likes to adopt whenever he needs to take a breather from his grueling research. The lower ranks of the family are still unaware of his real identity. Before he considered himself a true gentleman, Herschel Layton used to dress more casually. Until Claire gave him his top hat, he was never without his red cap. He became a professor at 27, and he remains young at heart. Layton's pride and joy has served him well on his puzzle-solving adventures. Its tall roof gives him the headroom he needs to drive with his hat on. This time, Don Paolo borrows the Layton mobile's design to build a flying machine. That means Layton is 37 now? Yeah, that sounds about right. Puzzle Guy 1's painful smile brings a sparkle to any puzzle. He's a bit of a braggart, but a good leader for the puzzle guys. His impulsive nature often gets him into trouble, but it's also an asset in breathing new life into a puzzle. Puzzle Guy 2 is sharp as a tack, though he often uses this skill for mischief making. His agility allows him to assume the many different roles that puzzles might require of him. The effective personnel manager of the puzzle troupe, Puzzle Guy 3 is a level-headed fellow with an ability to rally the other guys. He enjoys pranks but dislikes conflict, so he usually plays the role of peacekeeper. The biggest eater in the group, Puzzle Guy 4 is a tact-turned soul, but his kind heart and quiet strength make him truly well-loved. He always carries snacks in his pockets in case he gets bored and wants a bite to eat. Puzzle Guy 5 is an odd combination of timid and boastful. He's an expert at devising tricks to play on unsuspecting victims, but he isn't usually the one to carry them out, as he doesn't much like physical activities. Equal parts hard-working and fashion-conscious, Puzzle Gal 1 likes to make her own versions of the latest styles. Offset, she is also a ceramist, though her style has been deemed too avant-garde for mass appeal. Puzzle Gal 2 is a kindly old lady who loves evening strolls and picture books. She's fond of children and animals, and is happy to play the grandmother role. However, she draws the line at knitting, which she absolutely detests. A great art lover, I was like, lover art. That wouldn't make sense. A great art lover, Puzzle Gal 3 can often be found at antique fairs looking for curios. Though she can seem a little pretentious, it's only because her puzzle acting training has taught her to over-enunciate her words. Puzzle Gal 4 is a maternal figure in the puzzle troupe as well as an amazing cook. Naturally bubbly, she enjoys a long chat as much as she enjoys browsing the produce section. Puzzle Gal 5 is a headstrong intellectual with an irrational fear of penguins. We've all been there. Her hobby is collecting teacups, though, oddly enough, she despises tea. Alright. That was it. That was all. That was that. Voice. That's a lot of voices. I don't even have my headphones on. Hang on.
Layton has been my arch nemesis ever since that fateful day.
Layton has been my arch nemesis ever since that fateful day.
Why, they provide me with data, of course.
I'm terrible at these.
What Dimitri, Bill,
Hang
and
on,
I
no, shorter one.
No, I don't think I have much longer here, Herschel.
No, it's
What
sad.
Dimitri? I
Hang on.
can't just leave you here.
I can't just leave you here.
Deep down inside, the only thing a bully understands is force.
The only thing a bully understands is force. That's too much.
I can't wait to start this new adventure. You're a real lowlife, you know that?
You're a real lowlife, you know that? I'm definitely not close on Luke.
There's nothing to be done. Jump back in. I've worked things out on my own. Yes, but take note, Luke. Let's see if I've got this right.
Yeah, I was like, hang on, shorter.
Let's see if I've got this right.
Let's see if I've got this right.
Did you see that?
Did you see that?
Oi, come by to dig into a few puzzles, did ya?
Oi, come by to dig into a few puzzles, did ya?
Go on, don't be shy.
Go on, don't be shy.
Mr. Rabbit.
Nope.
Oh-ho!
No, we're not going to try.
This food is simply dreadful, Bill. Do get this over with quickly so we can leave.
This food is simply dreadful, Bill. Do get this over with quickly so we could leave.
Yes, people can often be so blinded by their own motivations that they lose sight of the damage they do.
Little characters are so cute. Okay. Alright. Art. That one. Everybody's a Muppet. Everybody's a Muppet. Where's this man going? He's just walking straight towards the stairwell. Not the stairwell, but like the stairs. He's just gonna run right into it. Repeatedly rescuing our heroes. His teeth are in front of his teeth. You know what I'm saying? Teeth in front of teeth. He's double-rowed teeth. two are sure to remain friends forever. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Make me sad. This makes me sad too. Very fetching. He's like, to all of you. Just the star of this game, right here. So glad to see you. Who needs a floor? Nobody needs a floor. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. Right, like, all of them were good. I think the casino's pretty good too. It goes like... Yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks so much for joining me on another one of these adventures. It was very rough in some spots, but I hope you at least got a laugh and enjoyed the ride to get here. Yeah, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Take care and God bless. Bye.